Working as volunteer in an educational field made me conscious of the sensitivity about the topic of education and family in Ecuador. The majority of children in Ecuador live a fragile familiar situation: illiteracy, alcoholism, domestic violence, orphaning, parental separation, prostitution, rape, abandonment. In addition to that, we should consider economical aspects: poverty, unemployment, lack of job opportunities. Lots of families are dedicated to agriculture or occasional jobs, but the salary is not enough to support the family. Often, this is one of the main reasons for inciting to violence. I found the most dramatic social situation during my volunteering in the CEIPAR Center. The violence suffered at home, where generally two or more nuclear familiars coexist, reflected itself in children's behavior. In this context, I met Magdalena, one of the most tenacious women I have ever seen in my life. She was Jose Neuro and Naider grandmother, and the person who took care of them. I was their grandson's tutor at CEIPAR, and every day I accompanied them to the center. She lived in, I suppose, there were 30 square meters of space with her two sons and his family. I supposed 30 square meters of space with her two sons and his families. In total, 10 people lived there, all together. One of her sons was always drunk. So it was hard to study in the classroom because every day there was a particular group of children very rowdy. 3 people weren't enough to calm them down and restore the order. After all, CEIPAR Center took place in the middle of a vulnerable neighborhood. Yachay Wasi, in order to guarantee the continuous education for children and youngers. In fact, the school is not enough to face these type of social problems. After that, the children and the youngers risked being neglected. In the CEIPAR, for instance, they have a place to study, to play, and to socialize with other children. This is a fundamental aspect for their personal growth, because they learn to respect the rules under the guide of volunteers and the nuns. Many times my role was not only to be a tutor, but also entertainer. I searched the games for children, or sometimes I invented them. The playtime was definitely the hardest part of the day, because in the CEIPAR the children often came to blows. Me and the other volunteers tried to contrast episodes of bullying and violence every day. We were not absolutely allowed to raise our voice against the children. We have to demonstrate it is possible to solve problems without any violence, including me and the other volunteers tried to contrast episodes of bullying and violence every day. We were not absolutely allowed to raise our voice against the children. We have to demonstrate it is possible to solve problems without any violence, including the violence of voice, told me Hermana Silvia one day. To be honest, not ever it was simple to keep the calm in some situation. Bullying, punches, kicks, jerks. I wondered how it could be possible to see and to listen things like those from children of 6, 7, 8. It's hard to be a child in Ecuador. When they aren't at school, they spend much time alone or in the middle of a street. And the street is unsafe. Alcohol, drugs, kidnapping. Every day I used to see photos of children who were disappeared. Day by day, I understood the huge and the irreplaceable work of educational institutions like CEIPAR or Yachay Wasi to guarantee a safe place for children and youngers and a better future for them. Because children are children after all, and all they need is to see an alternative.